Morning, or no, not morning. Geez, good afternoon, everyone. Hi. My name is Nancy Mader, and I am the Director of Transition Projects for the Federation for Children with Special Needs. It is Transition Tuesday. Today, I'm going to talk about the Chapter 688 referral. So I actually have notes here, you guys. Usually I just get up here and spitball it, but I'm actually going to use some notes because this is such important information, and some guidance from DESE has come out on the Chapter 688 referral. So I'm going to try to stick to my notes here. So what is the Chapter 688 referral? So let's talk about what it is, who gets it, all of that stuff, and then I'm going to talk about the guidance from DESE. So the Chapter 688 referral, it comes from the school. It should be talked about in the IEP team meeting. And what it is it's a referral from the school that goes to the state agency that the IEP team agrees will best serve that student. So that could be DDS, the Department of Developmental Services. It could be the Massachusetts Rehabilitation Commission, MRC, Department of Mental Health. But what it does is it says this IEP team thinks that this student will need adult services, and this is our referral to this agency. And most importantly, what it does is it helps determine state budget funding. So it's kind of a placeholder for funding for that student. So that's really important. So who is eligible for a Chapter 688 referral? Students that receive special education through an IEP. Only students on IEPs get Chapter 688 referrals, not students on 504 plans. So that's really important to remember. Students that require continuing services because of the severity of their disability. So this student with a developmental disability might need lifelong services through the Department of Developmental Services, DDS. So thinking about like how much support they're going to need when they exit high school. Do they just need help getting a job, keeping that job a little bit, and then getting weaned off? Maybe MRC is their state agency. Do they have a mental illness that significantly impacts their life? Then it might be DMH, but thinking about what they're going to need after they exit high school. And then students that are unable to work 20 or more hours a week in a competitive employment environment. So no job coaching, no, significant supports. Can they work more than 20 hours a week with all of that stuff? So that's another determination of if they get a 688 referral. So when should the Chapter 688 referral be made? It should be made at least 2 years before they exit high school, when they either turn 22 or they earn and accept a regular high school diploma. So if you have a student who will be getting a Chapter 688 referral and they're going to be in school until 22, that referral should be talked about before they turn 20, for sure. It should be being talked about at the IEP meetings regularly, but maybe between that 19 and 20 year, that referral should be made to the adult agency that they're going to need when they leave high school. Same if you're going to get a high school diploma when you turn 18, you should be starting to talk about it at 14, 15, and it should be sent when they turn 16 or before that. So at least 2 years before they leave high school. So how are the 688 referrals made? The IEP team agrees on the adult service agency, okay? They are going to agree on this. The school in general, before COVID-19, the school gets consent from the parent, the guardian, the family, whoever is caring for that young person. So they get consent there, or the student, if they're, their own guardian and they have shared decision-making, whatever it is. So they get consent, wet consent, signature or e-signature. And then the school submits the referral through it's called Virtual Gateway. So it's a state system that transmits the referral through the system. Okay, used to be pencil and paper or mailed, faxed, and now it's through Virtual Gateway. So what does the guidance from DESE say about 688 referrals? This came through the Commissioner's Weekly newsletter. So DESE is urging schools and districts to continue to submit 688 referrals during the COVID-19 crisis. This is a must. If you have a student who is going to be exiting in the next 2 years, please make sure that your district, your school submits the 688 referral. It's essential to state agencies for the budget. Oh, you guys, I skipped a note. But anyway, oh my gosh, it's only Tuesday. So I'm going to go back. What should happen after the 688 referral is made? So make sure the agency got it. Check in with the agency, please, because sometimes they get lost in like, I don't know, internet limbo, and they don't make it through. So please call the agency, make sure that they got it. You also have to complete an eligibility application. This is not an eligibility determination. This is not the application. The 688 referral is simply a referral from the school. So please, please, please make sure you fill out the application. Make copies of the application. You must make copies of it because sometimes it gets lost. You can fax it, you can mail it, you can do all of these things, and sometimes it still doesn't go through. But if you have a copy, you don't have to do all of that work again. So that's like collecting all kinds of medical and psych reports and all of these things to make sure the agency knows as much about your young person as possible. So make copies, check in on it, make sure they got the referral, and then make sure they got the application. And then after they get the 688 referral, the state agency should initiate what's called an individual transition plan. So they should do this with the student and the school to understand what services that young person may need. So that the referral initiates this process to think about the next 2 years and then what they will need when they start receiving services. So now we're on to the guidance from DESE. So DESE is encouraging schools to continue to send in these 688 referrals. It's a must. It's a must for the budget. And then the state agencies know who's coming to them in the future. So please, 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 if you have a student who will be leaving school soon in the next 2 or 3 years, make sure that 688 referral is being discussed. So what's concerning is in the newsletter, DESE reported that agencies are saying that 688 referrals are down 75% during the pandemic. So that means that they don't understand. They don't know what funding that they will need for the future. So that means that they might be underfunded. So it's very important that these 688 referrals get made, make sure that they are received, and then the applications for that agency are submitted as well. So what is being done right now during the pandemic to make 688 referrals possible? So state agencies have modified the 688 submission requirements. They used to require a wet signature or an e-signature. Now you can do it through an email consent or verbal consent that the school has documented. So that makes it easier. We don't have to, in these crazy times, pull up in a car and sign something and then like fold it into a paper airplane and shoot it at somebody. Like this is something that can be done, virtually. You can send an email consenting to, yes, that's the state agency that we all agree on that the referral should go to. So that's great. So what do you need for the 688 referral? The most recent IEP and the most recent 3-year evaluation. So information for that agency to know why the student is an appropriate referral so they can help determine if they accept that referral or if they think it should go to another agency. So I just want to reiterate that this is a referral. This is not a determination of eligibility. You still must apply to the agency. Please make copies of that application. Please check with your school, your district, the special education coordinator, whoever it is. If you have a young person that is within 2 years of graduating and you know that the 688 referral hasn't happened or you are unsure, you can check with the agency that you think it should have gone to, or you can check with the school. They should have documentation of it. This is something that in regular times gets overlooked and now is getting completely overlooked. And this could affect state funding for years, and we do not want that to happen. So I am strongly encouraging everyone to remember to check on their 688 referral, because it's so very important. It's so important that the Federation is working with the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education to write a brochure on it for our transition brochures, our tips brochures, which I will put in the comment section so you guys can all link to them. That will be coming out this summer. You can also contact the Bureau of Transition Planning for information on 688 referral. So if you have questions, we'll link their information as well. You can contact your school if you have questions about it. And then just to complete my wild training today, sorry, I took notes and it didn't even really make any difference. I still got off track. So the Federation is hosting a graduation celebration virtually. We have some amazing guest speakers, including Elizabeth Warren. So I'd like to also remind you that we're open, we're taking calls. You can complete our online application, and we'll help you with whatever you need help with. Our Family Ties unit is open and taking calls. Mass Family Voices is open and taking calls. We're here to help. Next week, next Tuesday, we have a webinar series right now with NESCA, and the webinar next week is on transition assessment. So tune in for that, please, if you've registered for it. And thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you guys get outside and enjoy the sunshine, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care. Can't get off here.